So when you have your Mercury in a conjunction with your Sun, it basically means that you are your thoughts. It's very difficult for you to hide your thoughts. Your thoughts are very transparent. So you have somewhat of a tendency to actually express your thoughts on your facial expressions subconsciously. So even though you try and hide your thoughts and you try and hide what's going on with you, you can't. People can immediately pick up on this. Now you are very, very close to your thoughts. Your thoughts are very loud. With this placement, it can sometimes be tricky to see yourself through an objective perception. You are sometimes too close to yourself. You can see yourself so clearly that it's difficult for you to see how other people see you. You can also be so caught up in the own perception that you have of yourself that you can have a tendency to take things quite personally. So everything that is said to you, you put directly onto yourself. You take it in a very personal capacity. So when somebody says something to you that might be offensive, you can't really just brush it over your shoulder and get over it. It is a very big deal to you and it actually hits you quite hard. The reason for this is because, like I said, it is a bit difficult for you to see yourself through an objective angle. So if somebody says to you, for example, oh, your hair looks messy, it's difficult for you to say to yourself, oh, that person's just being full of nonsense. They're just having a bad day. My hair is fine. You'll see it in a very, very personal capacity. You will think that your hair looks horrible. So the thing is, with this placement, it can be very difficult to separate yourself from things in a lot of cases. You are very close to yourself and you also take things incredibly personally. You do need to learn to separate yourself from your experience of reality per se. So you do need to try and learn and not take things personally and try and separate yourself from certain situations or certain things and try and look at it objectively. Like I mentioned earlier with the example with the hair, maybe a person's just having a bad day. Maybe a person's just in a bad mood. So it's got nothing to do with you necessarily. Try and see things this way more. It's very difficult for you to deal with critique and criticism because you do take it very personally and you can become incredibly defensive. Because you are so aware of yourself, because like I said, the planet that represents your mind and your thinking capacity is right next to your ego. You'll always want to protect your ego. You'll always want to stand up for yourself because you know yourself so well. However, it's not always necessarily to have to stand up for yourself and protect your ego. Sometimes it's best to just let things go.